In the southwestern corner of Africa lies a vast and ancient wilderness, a place of stark beauty and profound challenges. Namibia is a land where the elements rule, and every feature of the landscape tells a story of survival against the odds. This is the Namib, a coastal desert that has endured for millions of years, shaped by the relentless sun and the cold Atlantic winds. Along its western edge, the skeleton coast stretches for hundreds of kilometres, where shipwrecks and bleached whale bones are scattered across the sand, silent witnesses to the harshness of this environment. Its name, in the local language, simply means vast place, and it is a fitting description for this seemingly endless expanse of sand, rock and shimmering heat. The Namib is not just dunes. Its gravel plains, salt pans and isolated mountains create a patchwork of extreme habitats. Here life exists on a knife's edge, where survival is not merely a daily struggle but a moment-to-moment triumph of adaptation and endurance. Oryx, springbok and ostrich traverse the open plains, each uniquely equipped to withstand the relentless sun and scarcity of water. The landscape is a canvas of extremes, with towering dunes that glow red at sunrise and deep, shadowy canyons that hold the memory of ancient rivers. The Fish River Canyon, one of the largest in the world, carves a dramatic scar through the southern desert, its depths a refuge for hardy creatures. The climate itself is a formidable adversary. Rainfall is scarce, often less than 200 millimeters in an entire year, making it one of the driest regions on Earth. In places like Sossusvlei, ancient trees stand as skeletons, preserved by the arid air for centuries. The sun beats down with an unforgiving intensity, pushing daytime temperatures to over 40 degrees Celsius, hot enough to bake the very ground. Heat shimmers rise from the sand, distorting the horizon and creating illusions of water, yet a strange paradox exists. The cold Benguela current flowing up from Antarctica chills the air along the coast, creating dense fogs that roll inland. This fog is so thick it can reduce visibility to mere meters, yet it is a vital source of moisture for life here. This precious moisture is a lifeline for a specialized few, a ghostly whisper of water in a profoundly thirsty land. Beetles, lichens and spiders have evolved to harvest every drop, turning fog into sustenance. For most, however, survival depends on finding the scattered, hidden sources of groundwater that lie deep beneath the parched earth. Elephants and gemsbok use their strength and knowledge to uncover these secret reserves. To live here requires a unique set of skills, a genetic inheritance honed over countless generations. The indigenous bushmen, masters of tracking and survival, read the land like an open book, following the faintest signs of life. The creatures of the Namib have developed extraordinary strategies to cope with the lack of water, the intense heat, and the scarcity of food. Geckos call at dusk when the air cools, and beetles perform acrobatics to capture precious droplets. Some burrow deep into the cooler sands to escape the midday sun, finding refuge in the earth where temperatures are less extreme. Others have evolved bodies that can withstand incredible dehydration or store water in their tissues for weeks at a time. Plants grow waxy leaves to minimize loss, and animals conserve every drop. Every plant and every animal is a testament to the power of natural selection, a living example of life's remarkable ability to find a way even in the most inhospitable of environments. The welwitschia, with leaves that can live for centuries, is a symbol of endurance. It is a silent, ongoing drama played out against a backdrop of breathtaking desolation. Giraffes and herds of antelope move across the emptiness, always searching for the next source of life. This is a world where the line between life and death is razor-thin. Predators and prey are locked in a constant contest, each moment a test of skill and endurance. The cracking of the dry earth sounds like a warning, and the distant shimmer of a heat haze can look like a mirage of hope. Dust devils dance across the plains, a reminder of the ever-present wind. It is a kingdom of survivors, a place where the rules are simple and absolute. Find water, find food, and endure. Every creature, from the largest oryx to the smallest beetle, is locked in this daily quest. For those who succeed, the rewards are the continuation of their lineage and the chance to witness the desert's rare moments of transformation. When rain finally falls, the desert erupts in colour, and life flourishes in a brief, spectacular display. This is the story of that survival, of the resilience and ingenuity of the wild kingdom in the heart of the ancient Namib. Here, every day is a testament to the power of adaptation, and every creature is a master of endurance. Among the most majestic and improbable residents of this arid land are the desert elephants. These are not a separate species, but African elephants, Loxodonta africana, that have adapted their behavior to endure the harshness of the Namib. They are leaner than their savanna cousins, with longer legs and larger feet, physical traits that help them traverse the vast distances between water sources. At the height of the dry season, their existence becomes a relentless pilgrimage. A herd, led by a wise matriarch, must walk for many kilometers each day, following ancient memory maps etched into their minds, guiding them toward the promise of life-sustaining water. At this unforgiving time, a new life has begun. For animal mothers, the arrival of a newborn is both a miracle and a monumental challenge. In the wild, survival depends on instinct, resilience, and the ability to adapt. The calf, weighing around 100 kilograms at birth, is a fragile addition to the herd, and its survival depends entirely on the strategies of its mother. Animal mothers in the desert must be vigilant. They provide nourishment, protection, and guidance, using every instinct honed by generations of survival in harsh conditions. The mother's milk is the calf's only source of water and food. Her ability to produce it is directly tied to her own strength and access to resources, making every mouthful precious. In a land where every blade of grass has withered and every puddle has turned to dust, animal mothers are pushed to their absolute limits, forced to make difficult choices to ensure their young survive. The herd's journey is a desperate one, a test of endurance and resourcefulness. They must travel over 30 kilometers in a single morning, a grueling march under a sun that climbs higher and higher, stealing moisture from the air and from their bodies. The ground is a mosaic of cracked earth and hot rocks, offering no relief. The matriarch leads them with unwavering purpose, her memory of hidden springs and deep-dug wells their only hope. For the newborn calf, this journey is an immense trial. Young animals in the wild must quickly learn to keep pace, relying on the protection and guidance of their mothers. The calf's only shield from the relentless heat is the shadow cast by its mother's enormous body, a simple but vital survival strategy seen across many animal species. Animal mothers use touch, sound, and scent to communicate with their young. The mother elephant constantly encourages her calf, nudging it forward with her trunk, offering reassurance with low, rumbling calls. In the wild, falling behind can mean the difference between life and death. The herd cannot wait, and animal mothers know that every step counts. Survival is a delicate balance. Animal mothers must weigh the needs of their vulnerable offspring against their own desperate need for water and nourishment. As the mother's dehydration worsens, her milk, the calf's lifeline, begins to thin, a stark reminder of the harsh realities faced by animal families in the desert. Every step is a gamble, every kilometre a victory in the ongoing struggle for survival. But in the Namib, even the strongest animal will can sometimes bend to the overwhelming power of the desert. Survival here is never guaranteed, and every day is a testament to the resilience of animal mothers and their young. The relentless pace and the searing heat begin to take their toll, not just on the herd, but on every living creature that calls this harsh land home. The little calf, born into a world without water, stumbles more frequently. Each step is a struggle, its legs trembling as the parched earth radiates heat beneath its feet. It is too small to reach the water, even if the herd finds it, relying solely on its mother's milk, which is now alarmingly scarce. The calf's trunk, still unskilled, searches for comfort and nourishment, but finds only the dry air and the faint scent of hope. The mother's own body is failing her, and in turn, her ability to sustain her child is diminishing with every passing hour. Her ribs show through her thick skin, and her movements are slow, each breath a labour. The calf's initial curiosity and energy fade, replaced by a deep and desperate lethargy. Its eyes, once bright, now close more often, seeking escape from the relentless sun. It is a heartbreaking sight, a tiny life flickering in the face of an immense and indifferent wilderness. Around them, the desert stretches endlessly, dotted with the occasional acacia and the distant silhouettes of other animals, oryx, springbok and jackals, each locked in their own struggle for survival. The herd slows, but the desert does not wait. The air shimmers with heat, and the only sounds are the crunch of dry grass and the distant calls of birds circling overhead, searching for signs of weakness below. Eventually the calf's strength gives out completely. It collapses onto the hot, dusty ground, its small body no longer able to answer its mother's urgent calls. Nearby, a group of scavenging birds gathers, sensing the shift in the balance of life and death. She stops, her massive frame a statue of distress. She nudges her child with her trunk, trying to rouse it, to will it back to its feet. The air is thick with tension, as even the jackals pause, watching from the shadows. Her low rumbles are now filled with a palpable sense of grief and confusion. She cannot understand why her baby will not rise, her calls echoing across the silent plain, momentarily silencing the other animals. The rest of the herd waits at a distance, a silent, sombre council, understanding the grim reality of the situation. Even the ever-watchful birds and antelope seem to sense the gravity of the moment, pausing in their own routines. Their own survival hangs in the balance, and they must move on. The herd's slow departure stirs the dust, a signal to the waiting scavengers that the cycle of life and death continues. For a long time, the mother refuses to leave. She stands guard over the small, still body, a lonely sentinel against the vast emptiness of the desert. The wind picks up, carrying with it the distant calls of other animals, each a reminder of the harshness of this place. She touches the calf gently, her trunk exploring the silent form, a gesture of profound loss. Around her, the landscape is alive with the quiet movements of lizards and insects, all witnesses to this moment of sorrow. This is the cruelest law of nature. The instinct for individual survival must ultimately overcome even the powerful bond of a mother's love. The mother's eyes glisten, reflecting the unforgiving sun and the weight of her decision. The herd's calls become more insistent, pulling at her, reminding her of her place within the family and their shared, urgent need to find water. The sounds ripple across the plain, mingling with the distant alarm calls of other animals. Her own thirst is a gnawing, powerful force that cannot be ignored forever. The dry wind stirs the dust, and the scent of predators lingers, a constant threat to the vulnerable. With a final sorrowful touch, she turns away. The decision is a visceral one, driven by the ancient programming that demands survival above all else. In the distance, a vulture circles, waiting for its moment. She rejoins the herd, her steps heavy, leaving behind a part of herself on the cracked earth of the Namib. The herd closes ranks around her, offering silent support as they move forward. The loss is immense, but the herd must continue its quest. Around them, the desert's other inhabitants, antelope, birds and predators, move on, each shaped by the same unforgiving environment. The death of the calf is a stark reminder of the fragility of life in this place and the immense sacrifices required to endure it. The silence that follows is broken only by the distant calls of wildlife, echoing the endless struggle for survival. Their journey is far from over, and the desert still holds their fate in its hot, dry hands. All around, life continues, each creature adapting, enduring and surviving in the wild kingdom of Namibia. After weeks of relentless drought and suffocating heat, a subtle change begins to stir in the atmosphere. The land, long held in the grip of thirst, seems to pause, as if sensing what is to come. It starts not with a dramatic storm, but with a whisper. A gentle breeze stirs the brittle stems of desert plants, and the sand dunes shift ever so slightly, hinting at the transformation ahead. A different wind begins to blow, this time from the east, carrying with it a faint, earthy smell, the scent of distant rain. Animals, attuned to the subtlest changes, lift their heads and sniff the air, their instincts alerting them to the promise of water. For the first time in a long time, the endless blue of the sky is broken by the sight of dark, heavy clouds gathering on the horizon. The clouds build slowly, their shadows stretching across the thirsty land. For the desert's inhabitants, this is a sign of profound significance, a promise that relief may finally be on its way. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, senses the coming change. The air grows still and humid, charged with an electric sense of anticipation. The silence is thick, broken only by the occasional rustle as animals prepare for what is to come. Then the first drop falls. It is a moment of quiet drama, the beginning of a transformation that will ripple through the entire ecosystem. It lands on the parched ground with a tiny puff of dust, a singular, momentous event. The earth, hardened by months of drought, begins to yield. It is soon followed by another and then another, until a light, steady drizzle begins to descend upon the thirsty land. The rain, though gentle, is persistent, soaking into the soil. The rain is not a torrential downpour, but a gentle, soaking shower, as if the sky itself is carefully nursing the earth back to health. Each drop is absorbed eagerly by the land, reviving roots and seeds that have lain dormant. The sound of it is a soft percussion, a rhythm of life returning. The rain's gentle drumming awakens the soil, and the vegetation responds almost immediately. The water seeps into the deep cracks in the ground, turning the dust into dark, rich mud and awakening the dormant life that waits beneath the surface. Microorganisms, invisible to the eye, spring into action, breaking down organic matter and enriching the soil. The transformation is immediate and miraculous. Within days, shoots of green pierce the mud, and the desert floor is carpeted with new growth. The oppressive silence of the dry season is broken by the cheerful calls of birds that seem to appear from nowhere. They flock to the fresh pools and puddles, feasting on insects and seeds newly available. The air, once thick with dust and heat, is now clean and cool. The rain washes away the haze, leaving the world refreshed. The persistent haze dissolves, revealing the landscape in sharp, vibrant detail. Every colour seems brighter, every contour more defined. For the elephant herd, the rain is a reprieve of the highest order. Their thick skin, caked with dust, is cooled and cleansed by the falling water. They lift their trunks to the sky, catching the precious drops, their rumbling calls now a chorus of celebration. The matriarch leads the herd to newly formed puddles where they drink deeply and splash in the mud. Though the rain is not enough to form rivers, it is enough to replenish their bodies and renew their spirits. The elephant's renewed energy is mirrored by the entire animal community. This arrival of water signals a fundamental shift in the entire ecosystem. The rain triggers a chain reaction. Plants grow, herbivores feed, and predators follow. It is the catalyst for a great awakening. Seeds that have waited for months burst into life, and animals emerge from hiding to take advantage of the abundance. Antelopes, which had remained hidden in the sparse woodlands, begin to move towards the lowlands, knowing that fresh grass will soon sprout. Their migration is mirrored by other grazers, all drawn by the promise of food. Insects emerge from their subterranean shelters, and the entire food chain begins to stir. Frogs and reptiles, long dormant, surface to feed, and birds swoop down to catch the sudden bounty. The rain does not just bring water, it brings hope. It is the promise of survival, the assurance that life will continue. It is a powerful reminder that even in a land defined by its harshness, the cycle of life continues, and periods of hardship are always followed by moments of renewal and abundance. The rains are the heartbeat of the desert, sustaining every creature and every plant, and ensuring that the wild kingdom endures. As the first green shoots push their way through the damp earth, a quiet transformation begins across the wild kingdom. The rains have returned, and with them a surge of life and energy that stirs ancient instincts in the animals of Namibia. Another magnificent creature now takes centre stage. This is the sable antelope, one of Africa's most striking and elegant animals, whose very presence is a testament to the rituals of strength that shape life in the wild. Weighing up to 250 kilograms, the males are a sight to behold, with a coat of glossy black fur that gleams in the sunlight, signalling health and vigour to rivals and onlookers alike. Their pure white bellies and distinctive pale facial markings resemble a carefully painted mask, a visual cue in the animal world that hints at their identity and status. Both males and females possess a pair of magnificent crescent-shaped horns that can grow to over a metre in length, a feature that is both a weapon and a symbol of their lineage. These horns sweep back from their heads in a graceful, formidable arc, a design perfected by evolution for ritualized contests of strength. Sable antelope are creatures of open woodlands and shaded grasslands, where space and cover allow for both display and retreat. The rainy season marks the beginning of their breeding season, a time when the abundance of food and water triggers a wave of competition and ritual across the animal kingdom. With the return of abundance, the males begin to compete for the right to mate, engaging in a ritual that echoes across many species, where strength, endurance and strategy are put to the test. But this isn't a contest of brutal, unrestrained violence. In the wild, true strength is often measured by restraint and ritual. The sable antelope, like many wild animals, engages in a highly ritualized display of dominance and strength, a ceremony designed to establish rank without causing serious injury. These rituals are nature's way of balancing aggression with survival. When two rival males encounter each other, they don't immediately charge. Instead, they begin a careful, calculated process that is as much about psychology as it is about physical power. They start by assessing one another from a distance, reading subtle cues in posture, size and confidence. Standing tall, necks arched and heads held high, they showcase their size, their condition, and the impressive curve of their horns, a visual language understood by all who witness it. It's a tense and beautiful standoff, a moment suspended between peace and conflict. This is a silent negotiation of power where every movement and glance carries meaning. The confrontation then moves to a closer, more intimate phase, as the two males approach each other with deliberate caution. They walk in parallel, each step a test of nerve, each glance a challenge. This parallel walk is a ritual seen in many wild animals, from elephants to lions, where rivals size each other up before any physical contest begins. Sometimes they may even drop to their knees, a gesture that seems almost like a prayer before a duel, but is in fact a strategic move to lower their centre of gravity for the contest ahead. They'll then gently touch their horns together, a delicate and precise movement that lets them gauge their opponent's strength and intent. This ritualized contact is a crucial part of the contest, a way to test boundaries without immediate escalation. In the wild, such rituals are common, from the antler wrestling of deer to the chest beating of gorillas. Each species has its own way of channeling aggression into ritual. For the sable antelope, this is a test of nerve and resolve, where the outcome can be decided before a single blow is struck. It's a dance of intimidation, a display where posture and presence are as important as physical power. Body language becomes the primary weapon, and the ability to project dominance can sometimes win the contest without a fight. The air is thick with tension, but the movements remain measured and controlled, a testament to the evolutionary wisdom of ritual over reckless violence. Only when this ceremonial posturing is complete does the physical contest begin, and even then it is often brief and decisive. The males lock their formidable horns and engage in a powerful pushing match, a raw contest of strength that echoes the struggles of countless wild creatures. It's a test of pure, brute strength, where muscle and will are pitted against each other in a primal contest. The clash is intense, muscles straining, hooves digging into the earth, but the struggle is short-lived. One male, sensing he's outmatched, will break away and retreat, conceding defeat with dignity. The victor does not pursue him. In the wild, the purpose of these rituals is not destruction, but the preservation of strength and order. The hierarchy has been established, and the right to lead is won, at least until the next challenge arises. Across the animal kingdom, from the roaring lions of the savannah to the mighty elephants of the plains, such rituals of strength are repeated, each with their own unique traditions and displays. It is truly a remarkable display of how nature channels aggression into ritual, ensuring that the strongest and most resilient individuals pass on their genes, preserving the vitality of the species and maintaining the delicate balance of life in the wild. Section 6. The Ghost of the Coast, the Brown Hyena's Realm. On the desolate edge of the Namib, where the desert meets the sea, lies a landscape haunted by the ghosts of human ambition and shaped by the relentless forces of nature. Here, old, abandoned mining towns crumble back into the sand, their decaying structures offering a strange and eerie shelter to the creatures that now roam these forgotten places. This is the chosen territory of one of Africa's most elusive and misunderstood predators, the brown hyena, a master of adaptation in a world where survival is never guaranteed. Unlike their more famous cousins, the spotted hyenas, brown hyenas are shy and often solitary creatures, though they may live in small, loosely structured clans. Their territories can stretch for hundreds of square kilometres, with each clan member patrolling vast distances in search of food. Their appearance is distinctive, with a thick shaggy coat of greyish-brown fur, a long cream-coloured mane that runs down their back, and a peculiar forward-leaning posture that gives them a slightly stooped look. This unique build helps them blend into the shifting shadows of their environment. These phantoms of the coastline are primarily nocturnal, using the cover of darkness to conduct their secretive lives. Under the moonlight they traverse their territories, following ancient paths etched into the sand by generations before them. However, in the undisturbed quiet of these abandoned settlements, they can sometimes be seen during the day, moving like shadows among the derelict buildings and rusting machinery. The ruins offer not only shelter but also vantage points from which to survey their domain. The ruins provide them with perfect dens, cool and protected from the relentless sun, and safe places to raise their young. Here, pups are hidden away from predators and the harshest elements, learning the ways of the desert from an early age. The silence of these ghost towns is broken only by the sound of the wind and the occasional distant call of a hyena to its clanmates. These vocalizations help maintain contact across the vast open spaces of their territory. They have claimed this man-made wilderness as their own, adapting to a world left behind by others. Their ability to exploit both natural and artificial shelters is a testament to their resourcefulness. The brown hyena is a master of survival, an opportunist perfectly suited to this harsh environment. They patrol their territories methodically, always alert for the faintest sign of food or danger. They are not mighty hunters, but are instead the most proficient scavengers in southwestern Africa. Their territories often overlap with those of other predators, and they must be ever vigilant to avoid confrontation. Their lives are governed by their incredible sense of smell, an adaptation that allows them to detect the scent of carrion from many kilometers away. This keen olfactory ability is essential for survival in a land where food is scattered and unpredictable. This sense leads them on long, lonely treks along the coastline in search of beached seals, dead seabirds, or the remains of any other creature that has succumbed to the unforgiving nature of the skeleton coast. They may travel dozens of kilometers in a single night, covering every corner of their territory. They are the desert's clean-up crew, playing a vital role in the ecosystem by removing decaying matter and recycling nutrients back into the environment. Their physical attributes are perfectly matched to their scavenging lifestyle. Strong jaws and sharp teeth allow them to process tough remains that other animals leave behind. While they may not have the bone-crushing jaw strength of spotted hyenas, their powerful molars are more than capable of breaking open large bones to access the rich, nutritious marrow inside, a crucial resource in this unforgiving land. This ability to utilize every last part of a carcass is crucial in a land where food is often scarce and unpredictable. Nothing is wasted, and every meal is a victory against the odds. The brown hyena is a testament to the success of a different kind of survival strategy, one based not on confrontation and pursuit, but on patience, persistence, and the ability to find sustenance where others can find none. Their vast territories, secretive habits, and remarkable adaptability make them true survivors of the wild Namib. Section 7. Life among the ruins. The Scavenger's strategy. The life of a brown hyena clan is centered around a communal den, often hidden deep within the foundations of a forgotten building. These dens offer protection from predators and the harsh desert sun, providing a secure base for the clan's activities. Here the cubs are raised collectively by the members of the clan. The den is a hub of social interaction, where the young learn the skills they'll need to survive in a world where food is scarce and danger is ever present. While a single dominant female typically gives birth, the entire clan participates in the care of the young. This cooperative approach is a hallmark of successful scavenger societies, where every member's contribution increases the odds of survival for the group. Such cooperation is essential in the unforgiving Namib. By pooling their efforts, brown hyenas ensure that the next generation is protected, fed, and taught the subtle art of scavenging. While the adults embark on their long foraging expeditions, the cubs remain hidden and safe within the den, emerging only to play under the watchful eye of a designated babysitter. This role is crucial, as it allows the foragers to range far and wide in search of food, knowing the young are protected. The foraging journeys of the adults are epic undertakings, often beginning at dusk and lasting through the night. These solitary treks can cover vast distances as each hyena searches for the faintest sign of opportunity. An individual brown hyena might travel for more than 30 kilometers in a single night, patrolling its territory for any sign of food. Their endurance and navigational skills are vital, as resources are scattered and unpredictable. Their search is methodical and tireless. Brown hyenas rely on an acute sense of smell to detect the faintest traces of carrion, following scent trails left by the wind or by other animals. They walk along the high tide line, their noses to the ground, reading the stories left in the sand. Every footprint, feather, or scrap of bone is a potential clue in the scavenger's quest. A seal colony is a particularly valuable resource. Brown hyenas do not hunt the powerful adults, but instead scavenge the carcasses of pups that do not survive. This opportunistic approach is a classic scavenger strategy, waiting for nature to provide rather than risking injury in a direct hunt. They are patient waiters, capitalizing on the natural cycles of life and death that play out along the coast. Scavengers like the brown hyena know that patience and timing are as important as strength or speed. Finding a large carcass, such as a beached whale or a dead gemsbok, is a significant event. Scavengers must act quickly as these windfalls attract competition from other carnivores and birds. Unlike spotted hyenas, brown hyenas rarely feed in a frenzy. Instead, they often feed alone, using stealth and caution to avoid drawing attention to themselves and their prize. An individual will often tear off large pieces of meat and carry them back to the den. This not only ensures that the cubs and other clan members who stayed behind are fed, but also reduces the risk of losing the entire meal to larger predators. This behavior ensures that even the youngest and weakest in the clan receive the nourishment they need to survive. Sharing food is a key scavenger strategy, strengthening the group and increasing the survival rate of the next generation. Social bonds are reinforced through grooming and sharing, which are vital for a species that relies on cooperation to thrive in a world of scarcity. These hyenas are the ultimate survivors, thriving in a landscape littered with the failures of others. Their ability to exploit abandoned places and overlooked resources is a testament to the power of the scavenger's strategy. The abandoned mines are not just a physical shelter, but also a metaphor for their existence. Scavengers make use of what others have left behind, turning desolation into opportunity. They live on the margins, in the shadows, making a life from what has been discarded or forgotten. This is the essence of the scavenger's way, resourceful, adaptable, and always alert to the next opportunity. Their shaggy coats and stooped gait may not give them the majestic appearance of a lion or an elephant, but their resilience, social cooperation, and ability to make a living from the scraps of the desert make them one of the Namib's most successful and fascinating inhabitants. In the wild, it is often the scavenger, not the hunter, who endures. Section 8. The Desert's Listeners, the bat-eared fox family. Not far from the hyena's territory, in the sandy plains dotted with sparse vegetation, lives another much smaller family of survivors. Here the harshness of the Namibian desert is ever present, but so too is the quiet resilience of its inhabitants. These are the bat-eared foxes, delightful and delicate creatures perfectly designed for a life of quiet watchfulness. Their alert posture and ever-twitching ears betray a constant vigilance, a necessity in a world where danger can come from above or below. A typical family consists of an adult pair and their 2 small cubs. The family unit is tightly knit, with both adults sharing the responsibilities of raising and protecting their young. Their fur is a beautiful mix of pale grey and black, a pattern that provides excellent camouflage against the mottled ground of the desert. This natural disguise helps them avoid the gaze of predators and sneak up on their insect prey. But their most striking feature, and the one that gives them their name, is their enormous ears. These ears are not only a marvel of evolution, but a lifeline in the desert. These ears are not just for show, they are precision instruments essential for their survival. Sensitive to the faintest vibrations, they allow the fox to detect the subtle movements of insects beneath the sand. The primary function of these oversized ears is auditory. By swiveling their heads and angling their ears, bat-eared foxes can triangulate the exact position of their prey, even when it is hidden from sight. They act like personal radar dishes, capable of detecting the faintest sounds. This acute sense of hearing is their greatest asset in the endless search for food. The bat-eared fox is primarily an insectivore, with a particular taste for termites and beetles. Their diet is almost entirely made up of insects, which are abundant but not always easy to find. By turning its head from side to side, it can pinpoint the location of an insect colony burrowing deep underground. This technique is taught to the cubs from a young age, ensuring the next generation is just as skilled. It can hear the subtle chewing of harvester termites or the scuttling of a beetle grub beneath the sand. Even the faintest rustle does not escape their notice. Once a target is located, the fox begins to dig with furious energy, its front paws a blur of motion until it unearths its nutritious meal. The cubs watch and learn, mimicking the adult's swift, efficient movements. Beyond hearing, their large ears serve another critical purpose: thermoregulation. In the relentless desert heat, this adaptation is vital. The vast surface area of the ears is filled with a dense network of tiny blood vessels. As the fox rests in the shade, these vessels release excess heat, cooling the animal efficiently. As the warm blood circulates through them, the heat dissipates into the cooler air, helping the fox to regulate its body temperature without wasting precious water by panting. This allows the family to conserve moisture, a precious resource in the desert. This is a vital adaptation in a desert where daytime temperatures can be lethal. The family often seeks shelter during the hottest hours, emerging only when the air cools. It allows them to be active for longer periods during the cooler parts of the day, such as early morning and late evening, when their insect prey is most active. The family moves together, each member alert and attentive. The bat-eared fox family lives a life of peaceful coexistence. Grooming and gentle play strengthen the bonds between adults and cubs, reinforcing trust and cooperation. They are not aggressive animals and prefer to avoid conflict at all costs. When threatened, the family will retreat to their burrow or blend into the landscape, relying on their camouflage and silence. Their survival strategy is based on stealth, keen senses, and a strong family bond. Quiet vocalizations and subtle body language allow them to communicate without drawing attention. The adult pair works together to raise their cubs, teaching them how to listen, how to dig, and how to stay hidden from larger predators like jackals or eagles. Every lesson is a matter of life and death in this unforgiving environment. They are a gentle presence in the desert, a testament to the fact that survival does not always belong to the biggest or the strongest, but often to the quietest and most observant. In the fading light, the family gathers at the entrance to their burrow, safe for another night. Their story, one of adaptation, unity, and the subtle art of survival. Section 9. The Cycle of Renewal. Hope in the Revitalised Land. The return of the rains brings about a profound and universal transformation across the Namib. Water, so long absent, seeps into the parched earth, awakening a dormant world. The landscape, once a palette of brown, red and grey, is now touched with the vibrant green of new life. Tiny shoots push through the sand, painting the desert with hope Dormant seeds, some of which have lain in the sand for years, burst forth in a carpet of grasses and wildflowers. The desert floor is transformed into a living tapestry, each plant a testament to patience and resilience. The air is filled with the buzz of insects and the songs of birds, a symphony of renewal that replaces the oppressive silence of the drought. Pollinators dart from bloom to bloom, ensuring the next generation of life. For every creature, this is a time of plenty, a season of recovery and growth that stands in stark contrast to the hardship of the months before. The revitalized land offers food, water and shelter in abundance. For the desert elephants, the change is life-altering. Their massive forms, once shadows against a barren backdrop, now move through valleys lush with promise. The long, arduous journeys in search of water become less frequent. Pools and streams, replenished by the rains, dot the landscape, offering relief and sustenance. They can now find pools of rainwater collected in natural rock basins, and the new vegetation provides them with the nourishment they need to regain their strength. The herd grows stronger with each passing day. The matriarch leads her herd through valleys that are now lush and green, their sorrow over past losses tempered by the promise of the future. The land itself seems to encourage them onward. It is during these times of abundance that new courtships will begin, ensuring the continuation of their lineage. Young elephants play and learn, their future brightened by the bounty around them. The cycle of life, though once broken by tragedy, is ready to begin anew. Calves are nurtured and protected, the next generation thriving in the revitalized land. This season of renewal touches every corner of the wild kingdom. From the smallest insect to the largest mammal, all are uplifted by the transformation. The sable antelopes grow strong on the fresh grazing, their coats gleaming with health as they prepare to welcome their young. The herds move with renewed energy, their numbers swelling. The brown hyenas find that scavenging becomes easier, as the revitalized ecosystem supports a greater abundance of life and therefore a greater chance of finding a meal. The balance of predator and prey is restored. Even the tiny bat-eared foxes benefit, as the explosion of insect life provides a feast for their growing cubs. The desert's smallest hunters thrive in this time of plenty. The entire desert seems to breathe a collective sigh of relief, embracing the temporary reprieve from its usual state of austerity. Shade and water are no longer rare treasures, but gifts shared by all. The story of the Namib is therefore not just a story of hardship, but also one of incredible resilience and hope. Each transformation is a promise that life will always return. It teaches us that life is tenacious, capable of enduring the most extreme challenges and flourishing in the briefest moments of opportunity. The plants and animals here are living proof of nature's determination. The animals of this ancient desert are masters of survival, each with their own unique strategy for navigating the delicate balance between life and death. Their adaptability is a beacon of hope for the future. The return of the rain is a powerful symbol of this enduring cycle, a reminder that even after the longest and darkest of droughts, life finds a way to return, to renew, and to begin again. The revitalized land stands as a testament to hope, resilience, and the promise of a thriving future for all who call the Namib home. Beneath the vibrant surface of the revitalized Namib, another world thrives. One rarely seen, yet vital to the desert's balance. Here, in the shifting sands and sun-baked rocks, Namibia's reptiles carry out their secretive lives. Masters of adaptation, these elusive creatures have honed remarkable survival tactics, enabling them to endure the desert's fiercest extremes. The sidewinder adder, a specialist of the dunes, moves with a unique sideways motion, leaving mysterious patterns etched into the sand. Its cryptic coloration renders it nearly invisible, a silent hunter waiting patiently for the vibrations of unsuspecting prey. Nearby, the Namib sand gecko emerges as dusk settles, its translucent skin blending seamlessly with the pale desert floor. Equipped with webbed feet, it glides effortlessly across loose sand, escaping predators and the relentless heat. These geckos are nocturnal, conserving precious moisture by seeking shelter in underground burrows during the day. During the hottest hours, the armoured, girdled lizard presses flat against rocky outcrops, soaking up the early morning sun before retreating into cool crevices. Its tough, spiny body deters predators, while its ability to store water in its tissues provides a lifeline during the driest spells. The desert chameleon, a master of disguise, stalks the sparse vegetation. With eyes that swivel independently, it surveys its surroundings for both danger and opportunity, its rapid-fire tongue snaring insects with astonishing precision. Each of these reptiles has evolved to meet the challenges of their unforgiving home. From specialized movement to water conservation and camouflage, their tactics are a testament to the ingenuity of life. Though seldom seen, these secretive inhabitants are essential to the desert's web of life. They keep insect populations in check, provide food for larger predators, and help maintain the fragile equilibrium of this extraordinary ecosystem. In the Namib, survival is a matter of adaptation and timing. For the reptiles who dwell in its shadows, every day is a quiet triumph, a story of resilience written beneath the sand. While the reptiles move in silence and shadow, another army works ceaselessly across the Namib, often overlooked, yet utterly indispensable. Insects, small but mighty, are the true engineers of this desert ecosystem. Namibian termites are among the most prolific builders, constructing towering mounds that rise like miniature skyscrapers from the sand. These intricate structures regulate temperature and humidity, creating stable environments not only for the termites themselves, but for countless other creatures who take refuge inside. By day, the armoured darkling beetles traverse the dunes, their shiny black shells reflecting the sun's harsh rays. Some, like the famous fog-basking beetle, perform a remarkable daily ritual, climbing the crests of the dunes at dawn to collect precious water droplets from the morning fog, which they channel directly into their mouths. Dune grasshoppers, with legs built for leaping, feed on tough desert plants, while their vibrant colours warn predators of their bitter taste. Meanwhile, ants form bustling colonies below the surface, aerating the soil and distributing seeds, ensuring the next generation of desert flora can take root. Each insect, no matter how small, plays a vital role in the Namib. They pollinate flowers, break down organic matter, and provide food for birds, reptiles, and mammals. Their unique adaptations, whether it's water harvesting, extreme heat tolerance, or ingenious architecture, are crucial to the survival of the entire ecosystem. In the grand tapestry of the Namib, it is these unsung engineers that quietly sustain life, proving that even the tiniest creatures can shape the fate of a desert. As the sun rises over the Namib, the sky becomes a canvas for another kind of traveller, migratory birds. Each year, thousands of winged visitors arrive, tracing ancient routes that span continents. From the tiny willow warbler, weighing less than a handful of sand, to the elegant greater flamingo, these birds undertake epic journeys, braving storms, exhaustion, and predators. Their arrival is more than a spectacle. It is a lifeline. In the temporary wetlands that form after the rains, flamingos gather in shimmering flocks, feeding on algae and crustaceans, while plovers and sandpipers probe the mud for hidden insects. Raptors like the steppe eagles soar above, drawn by the promise of plentiful prey. These migratory birds are vital threads in the desert's web of life. They disperse seeds, control insect populations, and provide nourishment for predators. Some, like the barn swallow, build nests under rocky overhangs, sharing space with local residents. Others pause only briefly, refueling before continuing their journeys across continents. Their presence is fleeting, yet their impact is lasting. The migratory birds of Namibia remind us that the desert is not isolated, but connected to distant lands by the beating of wings, an ever-changing living bridge between worlds. In the heart of Namibia's arid expanse, silent sentinels stand watch, ancient trees and hardy plants that have endured for millennia. Among them, the quiver tree rises with sculpted branches, its pale bark gleaming in the harsh sunlight. Its roots delve deep, drawing moisture from hidden reserves, while its canopy offers shelter to owls, insects and small mammals seeking refuge from the midday heat. Nearby, the welwitschia stretches its two sprawling leaves across the sand, some individuals older than entire civilizations. This living fossil drinks from desert fog, surviving where little else can. Around them, camel-thorn acacias dot the plains, their seeds feeding antelope and their shade providing sanctuary for countless creatures. Each plant is a marvel of adaptation. Some store water in swollen trunks, others unfurl leaves only when rain falls. Together they anchor the soil, slow the wind and create microclimates that nurture life. Their roots form hidden networks, stabilizing the desert and allowing bursts of green to appear after the rains. In Namibia, survival depends on these quiet giants. They are the backbone of an ecosystem, a bridge between stone and sky, past and future. Their resilience sustains the desert's heartbeat, offering hope and nourishment to all who call this land home.